Good morning. And we are live. Got Facebook today, YouTube, Twitch, which I rarely shut out, and Twitter. So I haven't done, and we got Instagram. So I haven't done a early morning live in a little minute, but I do Friday um, morning Zoom calls with a group of folks, and we're talking about one of my posts yesterday about MicroAcquire. And I was like, you know what? I got hit by quite a few folks, and I wanted to share this stuff before I get the day started. This tea is really good. This is a tea that I bought in Argentina. So it's a yerba mate tea. But if you're familiar with their teas, they drink it out of this little thing. So you put the leaves like in the cup, and there's a little straw that goes down and basically filters it out. So instead of like having a tea filter, the straw basically acts as the filter. And but like I'm not trying, it's a pain. Like cleaning it up after like the little cups that they make to be able to do it is an absolute pain. So I uh I just got the tea bag. I was debating about buying one of the little cups. All right. So as you pop in to YouTube, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe and put any questions that you have in the chat. Awesome. Cool. All right. So I was wondering how many of y'all are going to be up early and not already at work or out busy. So it's cool to see a few of y'all joining. All right. So I want to talk about this MicroAcquire thing. I call it the newbie booby trap. And most of the veterans already know. The people that do deals and have been doing deals understand that. Oh, okay, like this thing is it's a terrible. It's terrible. This platform is terrible. It's not anywhere that you want to do deals. And so I really haven't talked publicly about it. But yesterday I did a post, and I didn't even mention MicroAcquire, but I was just showing it as an example. Actually, my man Rob Hanley in Portugal, who I was recently hanging out with, he had just put up a post, and it was just saying like some of these deals are just ridiculous. And I just not retweeted, but Instagrammed it, and basically was just saying, yeah, like it's crazy. And the interesting thing was a lot of people DM'd me basically saying, yeah, like why, like this is like I didn't say it was MicroAcquire, and I don't even think the whole name was in there, but you could tell from the screenshot that it was MicroAcquire. And so people were hitting me like, yeah, like the deals on their platform is so ridiculous. Like, why, like it's not even in line with the market, like what's going on? But then there's at the same time so much hype around it. It's promoted by My First Million. They just raised 5 million in capital to grow in the space. And I think a big part of the problem is like if you talk to somebody who's doing a bunch of deals, uh, you know, we're doing whatever 10 to 15 deals a year. Even my partners are doing multiple deals. So like, I talked about Curtis who closed 4 deals in a month. Obviously I've done hundreds of deals, but when you're starting a business in a space, it's weird to do it if you don't have a lot of experience in the space. So you look at the people that are like putting together this business, and it's like, okay, like how many deals have you done? It's very startup led, and so they'll promote each other. Like obviously, and I love the My First Million podcast, so it's not even an indictment against them, but like how many deals have you done to be able to decide if this is a good platform or not to be promoted? And this reminds me a lot of kind of the Silicon Valley way of doing things and thinking, where you have the people like Elizabeth Holmes, where it's like, oh, like I'm going to come into this space that I know that I have no experience in, I have no track record in, and I'm going to create this business and raise a ton of money. And as we all know with Elizabeth Holmes, it's kind of obvious. It's like, okay, you don't have any experience, and then you look at the board, they don't have any experience. You look at her direct partners, they don't have any experience. It's like, wait a minute, who's the expert in the space that knows anything about this? And of course, $1 billion raised later, it turns out like, oh, that was a scam. Now, it doesn't happen in every case. Like there is Uber where they come in, they disrupt a industry, and but I think the interesting thing is the huge focus. There's a big difference between the two. Like the huge focus in some startups is how do we get as much money out of a market as possible. And it's great to even watch Travis, where it forever Uber wasn't even trying to make money and didn't make money, and there was no attempt to make money, and that's up until recent. And the reason and the philosophy was, hey, we want to give as much as possible. So you have that kind of startup, but then you have the Elizabeth Holmes. There's another late girl named Jessica Richmond, and here's the difference. Whereas Travis was, it was a disruptor. He didn't really have a lot of experience in the space. He was learning the space, but everything was focused on how do we provide the most value to our clients, at the end of the day, and not even try to get much out of them. And we'll disrupt, and we'll ruffle feathers and that kind of thing. But the focus is on the end customer. So you have that, but then you have like the Jessica Richmond story that started the. This was a startup that raised against an outrageous amount of money, and she didn't have any experience in the space. It was supposed to take your poop and you know, tell you about your health, essentially was the goal. So I think it was like you biome, something like that. So this girl, Jessica Richmond, she is this is one of the craziest stories ever. So she raised, tens of millions of dollars, and she did have a partner. Neither had any experience, and they start this business. And just to tell you how much of a scammer she was, she told people she was like in her 20s, and even got in, like was one of Forbes 30 under 30. And this is one of the interesting things, like when you're making money off of being a public figure, in a lot of cases, like one thing leads to another. So even Elizabeth Holmes, one article led to another article, led to another interview on a podcast, to another speaking engagement, and so it becomes this snowball. And that's why I have just a ton of respect for the people like Travis from Uber, where it's like, dog, like I'm in the office, I'm getting work done. I'm not trying to be out here speak. Like that's one of the signs of like, okay, like you're really promoting hardcore, just as a personality, as opposed to like, yo, let me just create a really great product. So this Jessica Richmond chick, she's promoting this business, promoting herself. She becomes one of Forbes 30 under 30. One of the things is people start to figure out that she was not anybody to be building this business, was finding out that she was really 42 and she wasn't in her 20s. So long story short, they're supposed to be building this business. The walls are crashing. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're just trying to get money. So and that's kind of the point here. Like when you see something, it's like, oh, like they're just trying to get money. So they were overcharging the doctors. They were they were double, triple, quadruple charging for the same product or service, multiple times without providing it. There was just all of these things that they were pulling. And as the walls were caving in, they escaped really to Germany, her and the partner. I think they got away with like 12 million. and have not yet been found. This is like years ago, and they still are straight chilling with a strong 12 million. So my thing with this MicroAcquire thing is, you've got the people who haven't been doing deals, but then you've also, and just don't have like a depth of experience, but you've got a business model where it's just there's misalignment of interests. So when you look at a site like Biz by Sell, which honestly I'm not even a fan of that, but there's no like booby trap, you know what I mean? Or Flippa, I'd never do a deal on Flippa, but it's still a good model. They're at least, doing what they claim to be doing. But the issue with this MicroAcquire thing is there's 100% misalignment of interest. And they tout like, oh, we're not taking a mission, or here's this thing, but that's actually a downside. You want whoever's trying to promote you a deal to at least have some incentive to make sure that the business is real, to make sure that the income is real. And if they're not going to do that, you want to at least disincentivize people that are going to upload scams. So for right now, like one of the things that's great on Biz by Sell and Flippa is that they charge people to promote it. Now, is somebody going to pay in a lot of cases to promote a scam? Yeah, but how many times are they going to do it and have to pay if they're especially if they're not selling anything? On MicroAcquire, it's literally the opposite. It's like, hey, you can upload as many scams as you want all day long, and we're not going to charge you. And so you have that just misalignment, like where it's like, all right, any scammer can upload anything, and just not, they have these things that where they're, and this is even more dangerous when they claim that they're vetting, and they'll do something like connect to the Stripe account. That is the easiest thing to scam at. If you again, like, it's a case of not doing enough deals. Once you've done plenty of deals, like that is very easy to trick and scam. And so for a newbie, the reason I call it a newbie booby trap is that they feel a sense of comfort that, oh yeah, this is real. The second thing is the owner or the seller or scammer is able to upload their business and put it for sale. And since they haven't paid anything, they don't necessarily need to be realistic. And so the post that I had shared from Rob was where somebody was selling something at like a 37 times earnings. Well, even on, I talked about it being internet deals, was kind of tongue in cheek, but for internet deals, it's a max 4 multiple. Like you like, that's an outrageous multiple. And we literally just did a deal at a 1 multiple. So this business is 37 times the business that we just required as far as price. It's just completely outrageous. And so obviously you can just ignore those. But the issue with that is now you're wasting time. Like, what's the point of this platform? Like, if I've got to hunt for the deal, then I might as well just go out and create my own deal flow. Like, for me to be the person that has to hunt through and search through all of this crap and outrageous multiples and all that, just what's the point of this platform? Like, if you're going to raise 5 million and do something in the micro private equity space, like, use that for something that's useful, and not just something that newbie's going to walk in, not know that this is an outrageous price, overpay for something, and get scammed. So for the people that are selling the business, there's no reason not to do that, though. And that's why I call it a misalignment of interest. So if I don't have to pay to put this listing up, to put this ad up, to sell my business, why not ask for 37? So you can see the same business. And here's what's really interesting. I've come across the same business on MicroAcquire where they're asking 15, 20 times earnings, that then go to Flippa and ask the normal 3 to 4. Like, if that doesn't tell you that this website is pointless, like, and the really the terrible thing is, if you're a seller and you see a SaaS business that's selling at a 37 multiple, which is that's higher than my public. I have a public company that's at like a 20 multiple. Like, well, I'm the CEO of a publicly traded company that is literally at a little over 20 multiple. Like so. But if you're a seller and you're listing your business, then why not sell it at a 30? And like if you're looking at, oh, what are the other people? You're trying to figure out what should I sell my business for? So you're going through the ads and you see, oh, like this one's at a 37 multiple, this one's at a 35 multiple. Okay, they're selling at a 43 multiple. Like all of just you're seeing all this outrageousness. Then what are you going to list your business for? Even if you're going to feel like, wow, like I'm going to give these people an amazing deal, these newbies that are on MicroAcquire. uh and I will take a break and say, hey, I bought because there was so much hype around it. Like it wasn't like I came in like, oh, I'm a hater. Like I paid for the membership, and I'll talk about that in a sec. So I paid for the membership, so I'm still have my, because it lasts for a year. I'm obviously not going to renew it, but I have my membership as a premium member, and because I want to know everything that's going on in the space. So I bought it. But for that seller, it literally doesn't make sense for them to be realistic. If they see the other person at 37 multiple, then they're going to feel like they're doing the right thing for this platform by listing at a 15 multiple. And they're giving people a great deal. And then they'll go to Flippa and list at a 3 or 4 multiple. And like just fingers crossed that something happens over here. So what ends up happening is, if you're coming in as a buyer, you want to be able to contact businesses so they take a fee from the buyer, and they're not taking a fee from the seller. So, one of the complaints that multiple people hit me about was the fact that people don't reply. So you pay for this membership to be able to contact the businesses on this platform, and you hit them, but they don't have any incentive to write you back because they haven't invested anything. So it's like, oh, like I'll look at those when I get to, and it's a long shot. Like nobody, they even know, like, okay, this is outrageous. So like, why would anybody buy this? And so it becomes this waste of time for everybody. And so even the people where it's like, okay, like maybe I can get this guy down, or maybe we can negotiate. And even the newbies just have no ideas. They're just buying deals. And somebody will probably watch this and go sell one of their businesses at a 10 multiple to what one of these newbies at MicroAcquire. But the downside is it just is a complete waste of time. So even as you're spending your time trying to filter through to find the more reasonable deals, you finally find a reasonable deal, and they don't really respond because they're not even invested in the process of selling. One of the things that we do, even for a good merger, like if we have somebody that wants to sell a business, one of the things that we will do is we want to make sure they're committed to sell. So we make them sign documents. We really get them on board to make sure that they're committed to sell, because that is a nightmare. Like if you do a bunch of work to sell a business and they don't want to sell, you've just wasted time with the buyer's time, whatever. So if somebody can just throw up a ad and they haven't paid any money, they haven't signed a contract saying, yes, I'm definitely, going to sell. They're not selling it. They're not listing at a reasonable price. Like there's just no reason for them to do the work, because it is work. Like for the seller side, it's work to wade through, filter through all of the potential buyers, talk to them, negotiate them, go back. Like it literally is a part-time job. The two things that people discount as far as the time investment is when you're raising capital, that's a full-time job. And when you're selling your business, that's a full-time job. Both require you to be prepared and just kind of set that time aside to focus on. So that part is really interesting. Thanks to all my Instagram folks. Sorry, I haven't been looking over there much. So you're dealing with the overpriced deals. You're dealing with people who don't respond. The other, you're dealing with deals that aren't really vetted. And the downside is that there are a lot of newbies that don't know enough to know that this is complete outrageousness, which is why I decided to do this video. Not to put, hey, hopefully they will make some changes to the business. That would be great, because I'd love to have, another option out there. But for now, number one, don't waste your money. For my subscriber, like, this isn't going to make a dent in their business. They've got millions of spend. They have people like My First Million that are podcasts that are promoting it, which has 1 million views a month. So this isn't about impacting their business. It's just about my small number of subscribers letting y'all know, don't do no deals over there. Don't pay for no premium membership over there. Don't get caught in the newbie boobie trap. All right. Come on, a little quick, yeah, do a couple of comments and bounce out of here. Cowboy del Norte, what is up? Que pasa? Buenos dias. Says, morning, Ace. Can't wait to meet up one day. Well, tell me where you're located, man. I've got Vegas coming up. I've got Los Angeles coming up. Got Miami again coming up. And then I've got Chattanooga coming up. So I'm always going to make it back to Chattanooga. And I did see my sister popped in here a second ago. So always around those parts. People want fame so bad. Shake my head. They do. Definitely check out my most recent Instagram post on that. Oh yeah. The travel investor. I think we want to do an event in Atlanta. So I'm hooking up with Curtis in Los Angeles, and going to a conference, or I guess it is a conference, for one of the franchises that we're acquiring, and doing a conference in Vegas, and then LA, and then I think we're going to do an event coming up soon in ATL. So we'll keep you posted on that, travel investor. Come back over here. Cra Albert says, hello, Ace. I'll be grateful if you can mentor me. I'm interested in starting a PE fund in Africa. Hit Nori. Either hit the phone number that's up on the screen, or it will be up on the screen once I take your question now. But hit Nori at financierbank.com. And so the other thing, though, that I would say about, we do PAF fees where we're helping people start funds, but we are really getting people into Good Merger first. So we want you to either go through Dealmakers Institute or Good Merger first. And Good Merger opens May 1st. The next 4. Jay Twitty, who's on, is one of our first folks through the official Good Merger process. We've had the other folks that it was kind of like, okay, yeah, like we're brokering, we're doing some deals, but very excited to have the next group of 4. So May 1st, we open up the interview process for that. Can't forget Melissa. Melissa says, good morning. Thank you so much for popping in. Jay says, hey, Ace, after reading Reggie Lewis, deal valuation and financing are 2 of the main skills I'm excited to learn. Yeah, I think, understanding that is so crucial, and people come into this space, and that's really the danger of something like MicroAcquire. I almost forgot the name. Thanks for popping in, Jay. That sums it up, Coleman. Coleman McFarland pops in. He says, pay a membership and barely any vetting. Hard pass. Please pass on that. Yeah, it's out freaking outrageous. Deval just joined the Patreon. I hadn't mentioned the Patreon yet, but if you're not a member over on Patreon, I have a lot of conversations. You know, it's one-on-one. We talk back and forth, but then I also do upload some trainings and stuff there. But you know, a lot of the value is just the communication. We chat back and forth and the messages there. Deval, thanks for being a member. Jay says, "Yeah, can't wait to catch up in Atlanta." Yeah, so when I go to chat, you know, I'm down in Atlanta quite a bit. Moving to Buckhead next. Let me know what part of Buckhead. I was over close to Lenox when I was over that way, and you know, I love Buckhead. It was a really good time. I was living there for maybe 3 to 4 years, and you know, probably 2, 3 blocks from you know, right in between Lenox and Phipps, so 2 blocks from both. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time. Next month, awesome. All right, have a productive Friday. It's the end of the week. I'm about to go get ready, get the gym, try to make some magic happen today. Let's get it. Have a great weekend, everybody.